What's going on YouTube? Jay Miller Speaks out here, back at you guys with another video. I'm your host, Jay Miller. Before I get into this video, I'd like to give a special shout out to Marcus B and Paul V. Thank you guys for your kind donations. It is very much appreciated. So let's go ahead and talk about this Nate Parker accusations, these alleged accusations, okay? Because the man was never convicted of apparently what he's being accused of doing. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let people know off the top. I am taking a neutral standpoint when it comes down to this, and I have my reasons. And the reasons why is because there's too much fishy business going on about this situation, being the fact that this information has been about there. This information was never hidden, and now all of a sudden, if you guys may not be knowing that, Nate Parker is coming out with a very controversial movie entitled, I believe, Birth of a Nation, where he is playing the character of Nat Turner. Now, if you guys don't know about the history of Nat Turner was a slave that rebelled, and he killed white people, okay? Now, of course, when black people try to, talk about black history and the struggles that we've been through, if it doesn't have to be, if it's not a story about some black person bowing down, they don't want to basically hear it. When I say they, I'm talking about racist white folks. I ain't talking about all white folks, but these racist ones. So, you know what though, this type of behavior, because I've seen them talking, this type of behavior of them, sabotaging things and always having, every time you turn around when a black person trying to do anything positive, here they come intervening. This is the reason why a lot of black people say that, black people can never do anything and be left alone without, some white people, doing nefarious things to try to derail what they're doing. And though I believe that this is one of those situations right here. So this is the reason why it's so fishy. Now we have to understand that this situation happened, 17 years ago? So this happened 17 years ago, and the information has been out there, but you wait until he's about to come out with this movie that is controversial to some. Okay, now there are some white people out there, I'm pretty sure, they want to see the movie, because there's white people out there that, enjoy, history in general and want to know things. So it's not a big deal to them. But let's be honest here. You're always going to have, these suspected white supremacists and white supremacists that are going to pull these type of, nefarious acts. I'm just going to be honest, okay? But when it boils down to it, I'm taking a neutral stance to this because, one, I wasn't there. I don't know all the details that happened that night. Nate Parker, the girl that it happened to, and his buddy are the only ones who truly know exactly what happened, okay? So from what I understand, he is being accused of rape, okay? Now, this happened 17 years ago, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might have been a girlfriend of his or somebody that he's had sex before in the past with, okay? It sounds to me basically like, they were having a night of drinking. That's from what I understand. It sounds to me that some sexual acts went down, and the girl woke up the next day, from what I understand, and claimed that she was raped by Nate Parker and his buddy while she was passed out drunk. Okay? Now, from what I understand, this woman has not been identified, and usually we know that when a person is not being identified, their name's not being thrown out there, no pictures, etc., especially when it's black people involved, that usually means, or it's a great indication that they were white, because usually when the suspect or the person is black, they give out the names and all the information you need to know right away. And I am very familiar with these type of practices because I report news and I see the difference, okay? So also I want to go ahead and say that this woman, from what I understand, unfortunately has overdosed on sleeping pills back in April of 2012. Now, here's my thoughts upon this. And before I get into this any further, for all you trolls out there, you misconstrue any of my words. You try to say, are you trying to say this? So, Jay Miller said, what, you try any of that stupid stuff, you're gone. I'm not finna sit there and play with people. Now, before I even get any further, too, I also want to, let people know that I'm going to be using some mature, not language, but I'm going to be talking in a mature way to a mature crowd, hopefully. Okay, now let's be honest here. There are women out there that have definitely been abused in the past. Even now, the women right now get abused. They've been raped. And a lot of their accusers do get off. I'm not going to go ahead and deny that. That's definite facts right there. There are a lot of women that have truly been raped and been abused by men, okay? And they deserve justice. I want to go ahead and put that up out there, okay? But let's be honest here. There are a lot of women out there that engage in sexual acts with men. And, though they willingly engage in these sexual acts. And a lot of times, when they wake up the next day after drinking and doing drugs and stuff like that, and they figure out that people are talking about it and the word has got out about what they've done behind closed doors, some either, chalk to the game and take responsibilities for their own actions. And you have some out there that lie. Okay, they flat out lie and say that the guys have raped them. Another thing that is fishy about this is because, from what I understand, this might have been a white woman, okay? And I'm not saying all white women are like this, but let's be honest here. In American history, is a proven fact that many white women, not all, but many of them, they have fetishes for black men, okay? Find black men attractive. But there are some white women out there that don't want their community to know that they are attracted to black men and that they have sexual relations with black men, especially when they have family members that disapprove of it, especially like their father. So they'll engage in sexual acts. I've seen this before with trust me, firsthand, okay? And they'll engage in sexual acts, and when they get caught up or whatever the case may be, they're either flat out denied or some accuse the black guy of raping them. Now, this goes all the way back to the slave times, okay, where you have white women that were attracted to, the black buck slaves, actually we should go ahead and say, and they would have sexual relations with them on the under. And what would happen was they would continue to have sexual relationships with these, these black slaves until they were caught. And the minute they were caught, they would claim that the black slave raped them, and automatically, because we all know they would just take the white person's word over the black person's, he would automatically be killed. So these were a lot of innocent men losing their lives because they've had some white woman that liked them and was having sex with them, but then once the minute she got caught, all of a sudden, he raped me. Okay, so this is a known fact now. There are white women out there that do naturally just like black men. Trust me, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I have plenty of life experiences, and seen a lot of things, okay? And they do like black men and date them, marry them, etc., and don't claim rape, okay? So I'm not pinning this all up on white women, but it's a very fishy situation. I just find it very funny that they're bringing this up right now. Right now, as this controversial movie is about to come out. Now, it's funny too, because if you think about when, the movie about NWA, Straight Outta Compton, was going to come out, what did people start doing? They started trying to talk crap about the movie. Oh, black people are going to do this, and basically, we got to beef up security. They're going to, people are going to be fighting, and of course, the LAPD didn't want the information to get out. Oh, this is not a good time. A lot of people were saying, oh, this is not a good time to put this out right now, because they already know that when they show this movie, it's going to reflect about what was going on in the past that's still happening today with the police brutality. And basically a lot of the LAPD felt that they're trying to make LAPD look bad and this put us in a bad light, but they know exactly what they were doing. All these thousands of black people and Latinos that were complaining about police brutality, especially back then, had no reason to be lying. All these people are not lying. So of course they didn't want that type of information to get out, and especially right now, this information about him has been out on Wikipedia, but now you want to go ahead and try to tarnish this guy's reputation. In my own personal opinion, this is too fishy to me. I've seen this happen too many times. Now, what's funny about this is that you have a lot of other white celebrities out there. Now, mind you, Nate Parker is not a very well-known celebrity like that. He's not very much of a household name. But yet and still, though here he's getting all this publicity behind something that happened 17 years ago, okay? And you have other white celebrities that, have really engaged in some, questionable things, should I say. Not even questionable. Some have been convicted of certain things, and not this much. It never comes back up, or, it's never a problem when they're coming out, with their new projects or starring in new movies and things of that nature. Here you have, Floyd Mayweather, who is a multi-millionaire, okay? That dude got a lot of money, okay? And he was accused of beating up on his wife, I'm just giving different examples. This doesn't have to do with sexual things, but I'm just giving examples of how the media gets down. Floyd Mayweather, he basically had to end up serving time up in jail because his wife or his girl, whatever at the time, said he was beating up on him in front of the kids, yada yada yada. But yet and still, you have Bill O'Reilly, who's very popular too. His wife recently came out, and his daughter said that he is a very violent man, beats up on his wife, and his wife's basically, it's not his wife, but his daughter, testified, basically said that she's seen him doing this, and that he's a violent person. What happened? They sweep it up under the rug. Nobody wants to talk about it. Yeah, and I know that's going to make a lot of you, right-wingers mad, but though, it is what it is, and we see the difference here. Okay, so from what I understand, he was acquitted. Okay, from what I understand, he said it was consensual. May have been, may have not been. I wasn't there. But you know what though, it's just mind-boggling that every time, it's just very fishy that this is coming up. I just, I want to go ahead and, also talk about, the black folks out there. See, it's already, you expect racist white folks to have an issue with Nate Parker, obviously because it's movie. But when you have the buffoonery of black folks though, especially the pro-blacks, man. Basically, they don't like the fact that Nate Parker is married to a white woman, okay? He's married to a white woman. They don't like that. Now, like I've said, these are the same people that claim that everybody comes from black people originally, so therefore that makes them black. But if you date or marry somebody who doesn't have the same exact color as black folks, you're a coon, and though you don't, he's a sellout and all this type of stuff. See, I'm gonna tell you guys another example of this type of buffoonery. Just like you have Jesse Williams, he spoke out. You have a lot of so-called pro-blacks, not all, but some of them praise this guy. But yet and still they call black men who date white women coons and et cetera, et cetera. But where did this, young man, learn to embrace his blackness? Obviously from this so-called coon who's married to, the enemy, so-called enemy. What's even more crazy is that these pro-blacks, especially, see, black men can't win for losing in a lot of situations. They can't win for losing, even with the black community, unfortunately, because, these so-called, even women that look at them as coons, this and that, they'll talk crap about black men being with white women, even if you stick up for black folks. Even if you do more than what they do, because let's be honest, it doesn't matter what you do as a black man. You could be doing, you could be sitting in your community feeding poor people every day. That could be a business you make, and every day all you do, is just feed, homeless and poor people in the black community. Black folks are gonna find some type of way to sit there and throw you up under the bus. That's how a lot of them get down. A lot of the people that, and some of the women too, they call black men coons for being with white women, but they are accepting when a black woman is dating outside, her race or being, in an interracial relationship. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen, too much hardcore evidence to back up my claims. Trust me. So the buffoonery is there. But, what they'll hear this man, from what I understand, is, went into his own pockets. He's the one who decided to go up into his own pockets, direct the movie himself, from what I understand, to help black history get about there. And once again, you have these buffoons up online, though, that have an issue with this dude. When they not really doing nothing, they not going into their pockets supporting nothing or trying to go up out of their way, but, just talking up online and just, throwing on the black people up under the bus. Because this man's wife is not black, it's an issue. See, the thing is that, like I said, black men, especially black men, cannot win for losing, because no matter what we do, we got the racists up on our neck, then you got black folks up on our neck. This is the reason why I've decided not to even speak up on certain issues no more. I even told, some of my, close friends, close partners up on YouTube, with those certain situations I ain't speaking up on. I'm gonna go ahead and let the pro-black speak up on that, because apparently they know everything was great for black people, what's best for black people. You know what I mean? Apparently they know what's best. So, though, don't ask me to sit there and speak up on certain things. But this one I'm gonna go ahead and speak up on. I just find it very funny that even black folks, you sit there and you complain about this, you complain about that. But when people sit there and try to do things for the black community, whether it's putting out movies, information, whether they're giving money up out of their own pocket, you find some reason to basically talk crap about what they doing. That's what's so sad about it. So when it boils down to the situation, I wasn't there. I don't know all the details. I only know the details that they have provided. I find it funny, like I said, that one, Nate Parker was acquitted and then the other one wasn't. Okay, and it's very tricky when it comes down to these rape allegations, because you have a lot of women out there, y'all think just like men too. A lot of y'all talk about men, looking at women like they're sex objects, yada yada yada, but y'all do the exact same thing. A lot of the things y'all accuse men of, y'all do the exact same thing. I've been the only man in a room full of women and watched women talk about men like pieces of meat, getting into some very explicit conversations. Okay. So some women I can't take serious when it comes down to that. Now, I'm not saying, again, I'm going to repeat this, I'm not saying that no women have never been, sexually taken advantage of, because it does happen. It definitely does happen. But we live in a society now where it's kind of hard to, who do you believe? Okay, because on one, situation, on one side, you have men that do be raping women and stuff. Then on the other hand, you got women that just be using that to their advantage, just accusing people of things. But I don't know, I just feel that this whole situation is definitely fishy, and I'm just taking a neutral stance. I'm just giving my thoughts upon it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Until next time, subscribe, peace out, and have a good one. Peace. If you enjoyed Jay Miller Speaks Out content, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button up on this video. We also be much appreciated that if you have a Facebook account, go ahead and like my Facebook fan page. And for all you Twitter heads up out there, please feel free to follow me up on Twitter. And if you really like Jay Miller Speaks Out and would like to help me further my progress as a content creator, please feel free to donate. So shout out to my supporters and shout out to my haters. And as always, have a good one. Peace.